Hola, buenas tardes, estimados y estimados asesores externos y especializados del Programa Nacional de Inglés. Gracias nuevamente por acompañarnos el día de hoy a nuestro cuarto día de trabajo. El día de hoy estarán con nosotros la maestra Orelly Palmas y Idolina Camargo Coronado para impartir el webinar Manteniendo una mente positiva. La maestra Orelly Palmas cuenta con una licenciatura en la enseñanza de inglés como lengua extranjera de la Escuela Normal Superior de México, así como una maestría en lingüística aplicada de la Universidad de Surrey, Inglaterra. Ha enseñado idiomas extranjeros e inglés para propósitos específicos en todos los niveles en México y en el Reino Unido, además de su amplia experiencia como formadora de docentes en México y América Central. La maestra es actualmente la coordinadora de apoyo a proyectos de soluciones de aprendizaje en Cambridge University Press. También es examinadora oral y entrenadora líder para Cambridge Assessment English. Y la maestra Idolina Camargo Coronado es maestra de inglés, ha trabajado por más de 40 años con alumnos de todos niveles y edades, capacitadora de maestros de inglés por 20 años, 16 de ellos en consultoría académica para programas oficiales de inglés en todo México, educación básica. Ponente nacional e internacional en América Central y Sudamérica. Coautora de una serie para preescolar, así como revisora de diferentes publicaciones internacionales y nacionales. Consultora académica de cuentas claves para Cambridge University Press. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos el día de hoy, maestra Idolina y maestra Orelly. Podemos iniciar.
Gracias, Vanessa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Gracias. Welcome, teachers. Hello. So happy to be here with you. I'm going to share my screen with you, okay? So let's begin, Orelly.
Ready?
Okay, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it now. Thank you.
Fantastic. So our topic for today, keeping a positive mindset. What about this? What is keeping a positive mindset? What can you tell us, Orelly?
Well, I think it's a current topic, isn't it? Being positive in this, especially at these times, it's paramount to keep going, basically. So this is why we have chosen this topic. I think it's very important, and for everyone, but especially for teachers now, because we're getting ready to go back to school. So definitely,
exactly.
it's a topic that is very important at this moment in time. So what we're going to be looking at today in this session, Idolina?
Oh, what are we going to be seeing? Oh, today's menu. Stress and being thankful. Being thankful, like for what? What are we supposed to be thankful for? We'll see that in just a little while. What else?
Trauma leads to growth. We will see that as well. I think it's been a traumatic experience so far, but we will see how we can turn that into a positive by growing.
Fantastic. Why am I so tired? Are you tired, teachers?
Probably.
Yes.
Setting boundaries. So up to what moment do I keep working? Is it all day? Is it over the weekends? Well, it's important to set boundaries.
Definitely. Also very important, making personal connections with students. I think this is something very, very important, especially nowadays.
Definitely. And obviously, creativity and positive mindset, we will see how creativity is connected to a positive mindset.
And of course, some brain breaks. Okay, some brain breaks and some relaxed breathing, okay, to help you out when you're feeling stressed. We'll see that also.
I mean, we'll see the difference between positivity and toxic positivity, which also has to do with growth mindset. So this is today's menu. So we will have 45 minutes to talk about this. So let's get started, Idolina.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, what worries or stresses you? Are you worried? What worries or stresses you, teachers? Tell us in the chat. Meanwhile, you tell us in the chat, Orelly, does something worry you? Or does something stresses you?
Well, I think we are all stressed out about this situation. We don't know whether the third wave of COVID is coming, and also worried about going back to school. Children, how are they going to be interacting now after a year and a half being locked down? being in lockdown. So how is it going to be with my new friends? Am I going to make new friends? I think everyone is stressed or worried about something, right?
I think
right,
so.
teachers?
Definitely. I really do think so, especially those kids that are going already to second grade of kinder without having been present. Okay. And also first grade, second grade, where they do not know their companions. Wow, this is stressful. This worries me. But we also have to be thankful for a lot of things. Are we
Sure.
something?
Of course. For example, I can tell you, I'm very thankful for us to have been invited for a second time to be here with you today, for example. And I think this is what the topic is about, to have a positive mindset. We need to look for the positive things in our lives, rather than, of course, there are so many things going on that can be negative, that cannot be very happy. However, we should look for the things that are positive in our lives. And teachers, think about it. What are you thankful for?
Very well said, Orelly. Yes, we have to be thankful for being here. Okay, there are many people that have left us already, okay? and because of this, and we are still here. We're supposed to be very thankful for that. We're supposed to be very thankful for having a job. Many people lost their jobs.
Exactly.
So yes, we have a lot of things to be thankful for. And are we happy? What are we happy to return to? Going back to the classroom, definitely seeing those faces, being able to see our students face to face, to know what they are thinking just by seeing them in front of us, okay, to be able to hug them. There are so many things, so many beautiful things to be thankful for and to be looking forward to when returning to the physical classroom.
Exactly. This is the idea of this question, teachers, for you. So think about, focus on the positive rather than the negative. So that's going to help us to be more positive, right?
Fantastic. Yeah. So trauma, adapt, and growth. What does this refer to? Let's see. What did you feel when, after the first month of lockdown, how did you feel when they told you, hey, we're not returning? We thought we were on vacation, no?
Right.
It was really nice vacation. Wow, I'm resting from so many traveling, so many trips and all of that. That's me and my personal situation. I said, no, this is fantastic, no? But then we're told we're not going back. We're not going back, and we don't know until when. So how did you feel? How did you feel, teachers, knowing that you weren't going back to the classroom, to the physical classroom, and we didn't know for how long? What did you feel, Orelly?
Well, definitely, I think it's a shock. No, that's what a trauma is. It's a shock that unbalances you. It's like, okay, so it's uncertainty as well, because you don't know when you're going back. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how the economy, the jobs, all of these situations going around you. Of course, it's traumatic. It's shocking. So I think the first thing is that in this process that we're looking at on the screen, first thing is a trauma. But I think after that, then when we learn to adapt, right? And this is, I think, it's a human characteristic. That's why we have been able to survive. It's adaptation. So I think we have adapted. Teachers have adapted. They learn new skills about how to teach online, how to keep students engaged into the classes. They have learned, they have developed other skills that maybe they didn't know they were important, right? And I
Fantastic.
think this,
Yes, totally agree. So we adapted, and with that adaptation, we began doing things that we have never done, learning things that otherwise, if this hadn't happened, we wouldn't have learned them so fast. Okay, so yes, we adapted and we grew. And now we know a whole lot of things that we didn't know before. Using a lot of technology that we didn't know how to use before, that we knew about it. It was there, but we hadn't used it really to the extent that we have used it now.
yeah,
Okay?
I think many just have mastered it now, right? So I think
Totally.
that is the positives of all these things that we have been going through. And this is what we want you to focus on. For a positive mindset, focus on the positives, right? So the growth in this case, yes, we went to trauma, but we have adapted, we have learned to adapt, and we have grown. And I think that's a positive for everyone, right?
Definitely. Totally agree. So as to this, in classes now versus pre-COVID, how are they different? How are they different? Are they different in any way? I think so, in many aspects. I think it has been, yes, a lot of learning, but it has been difficult.
It's precisely because, it's because of that as well. No, we have grown. So obviously now we're gonna, even we're going back now. If you're going back, teachers, to the classroom, you're going back with new skills. So of course, the things that you were doing a year and a half ago are going to be different to what you're going to be doing now. So that, in principle, is going to make it very different. And your students as well, and your students as well.
Totally, right? Totally. Yes, and we ask ourselves, after this, after being all day in front of a computer, all day with the students, in breakout rooms, doing activities, doing exercises, keeping their attention, keeping them motivated. Yes, and then we ask ourselves at the end of the day, why am I so tired? Well, even though video conferencing is nearly a replication of face-to-face interaction, it's not quite the same, and it drains our energy, doesn't it, Orelly?
It does. I remember when we started. Again, it's like, why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? Of course, we have now learned that it's because of all these things we're doing. We're multitasking, because when you are face-to-face with your students, it's different. You can read them. Like you were saying, you read the body language, but here on the screen, you can't read them. So you don't know. So you have to start doing other things. And of course, like you said, it's draining. It is draining. So what can we do to help with this, Idolina?
What can we do? First of all, let us do this activity, okay? Let's see if you can find a mistake here. There's a mistake. Let's see if you can find it.
Can you find the teachers? Can you find the mistake? I think I found it, Idolina.
Okay, you did? So fast?
I think so.
You hadn't seen this.
No, I have not.
And you did find the mistake.
Yes.
I hope teachers can find the mistake. Can you find the mistake, teachers? Okay, can you tell us what the mistake is, Orelly?
Right. If you look in the question, you have a double article. Can you find the mistake? That's the mistake.
That's a mistake.
But it was misleading, Idolina, because you see the numbers and they're colored, so that's a different thing. So you're trying to find the mistake there, but it's actually on the question. Right?
Right. It was a little bit tricky, but I hope you did find it. Okay. Something that you can play with your students. Okay. So let's talk about some tips. Tips for our well-being, tips for keeping a positive mindset. Let's see. It says here, phone calls versus video conferences. What would be the tip here? To the extent that you can, change any video conference that would otherwise be that is not so necessary. Try to change it for a phone call. Try to keep your video conferences just as much as you can. Try to limit them. If you can settle whatever you have to do with a phone call, prefer a phone call than a video conference so you can rest. Okay. Why? Well, because when we are in the doing a video conference, we are trying to decipher what the people are feeling just subconsciously. You're not conscious of this. Okay. But you're trying to figure out what they think, what they are going to say, how they are feeling. And this really, really, really drains your energy. And not so when you're making a phone call. You're not trying to figure anything out. Just listen to the person and answer. Okay. And talk. Okay, so try to limit those video conferences just to the necessary ones, the ones that you cannot leave out. So if you can make it with a phone call, use the phone instead. Okay, so the next one.
Fewer meetings. Yes, we were talking about why we so tired. Why are we so tired? So, like Idolina mentioned, less video conferences, less meetings, because, like we were saying, it's draining. So if it's not necessary, just with a quick email, quick phone call. Now we use a lot of WhatsApp, quick WhatsApp, rather than being on a meeting that is unnecessary.
And what happens, Orelly, when you're in a meeting, you don't turn on the camera because you have to go to the kitchen and you have to cook something, and the husband is coming and the children are coming, and we try to do so many things at the same time. Is that nice? Is that good?
Well, it is. Yes, it's multitasking, isn't it? So we should reduce multitasking, because when you're doing so many different things at the same time, you are draining your brain. Your brain, comes and goes, and you have to have attention here, there, and everywhere. So that is tiring. So yeah, definitely reduce multitasking. Yeah.
Totally tiring. Yes. And another tip: stick to your pre-COVID work routine, including commuting. Teachers, please stick to your time, the time that you had established before COVID for work. If your work begins at 8, begin at 8, it ends at 6, finish at 6. Don't continue. El burro, we say in Spanish, el burro hablando de orejas, right? Yes, but let's try to do this. It really, it has become something that we do all the time. We stay after that because I have to prepare this for tomorrow. I have to do this. I have to do that. And you continue with your work routine. Stop your work routine. Stop. Just get away from the computer and live. Okay, live. Do what you would normally do at home when you return from work. No?
Yes. And this has to do with setting boundaries, right, as well. So if it's from 8 to 6 or 8 to 5, whatever your times are, stick to that, because otherwise you end up mixing your personal life with work, and that is tiring as well, because you're not setting those boundaries. So you need to find a way to separate both things.
Totally agree. And very important, and this is something that Orelly and I were talking about a little while ago, many a times you keep the phone on, you keep the notifications, a message comes in, you are in a meeting, and there you are at the same time looking at the phone and reading the messages that you're getting. Oh no, I can't do that. And that's what I was just telling her. What do? I turn off all my notifications. Okay, when I am here with you right now, and I am here 100%. Okay, 99%, because my rooster is singing outside and he's bothering me. Okay, but no, stick to this. Turn off notifications and continue with the meeting or the presentation that you are doing, or the class that you are giving, and direct your attention to that. Don't be listening to your telephone. Don't be answering messages. That really drains your energy. It's terrible, no?
Yeah, and the time as well, not unfocuses from whatever task you're doing, and then it takes longer, and then before you know it, it's 6 o'clock and you haven't finished. So it's a distractor as well. Can be a distractor.
Totally. Okay. So, and like you said, we said this before, Orelly talked about this, establishing clear work boundaries. From this time to this time, this is my working time. The rest of the time is for me to live, for me to do the things that I have to do as a mother, as a wife, okay, as a friend, as whatever. We also have a life, okay? We also have...
True.
Okay, fantastic. So setting goals for each day is another excellent tip. Okay, set your goals for each day. What is it that you need to achieve tomorrow? Write it down, okay? That decides what you want to accomplish, and that gives you a sense of conclusion
Achievement.
of achievement, totally. Okay. Decide what you will accomplish each day in order to walk away guilt-free. Okay, when you're finished. So I achieved what I had to do. That's it. Okay, no guilt. Okay, I don't owe you anything.
Yeah, because otherwise this is raining as well. Because if you don't finish something that you are thinking of doing, then you walk away and they're like, oh no, but I didn't finish this, I didn't finish that, and then you can't, it goes round and round in your head, and then you cannot rest properly. So set goals for each day and achievable goals as well. You know your pace of work, and then you make goals that are achievable as well.
Totally agree. Okay, and something very important, and this, keep personal notes on your students. This is something that whether we are working online or whether we are working face-to-face, this is something that we should always do. We should keep personal notes on our students. What for? Well, we want to really have empathy with them. We want them to feel that they are listened to, that they are that we are really taking them into account. Okay, so an important event, your students tell you something that happened to them that is important to them, write it down so that you don't forget. And in the next day or the following day, ask them about it. How did you do? What did you achieve? Maybe somebody tells you that, I don't know, that his mother is sick. Okay, so tomorrow, when you see that person, whether it's online, whether it's face-to-face, you ask, how's your mother doing? And that makes you have a connection with them. That makes your students feel good. No?
Correct. Correct. It's totally agree. It's interaction. It's interaction at the end of the day, what happens in the classroom. So the better their interaction, the better the results, because then they will feel like Idolina mentioned, students will feel heard, they will feel cared for, and that will make them easier to teach because they'll be more open up to you, and it'll be easier for you as a teacher because you will feel more connected with your students, and they will help to have this positive environment in the classroom.
Totally agree. And then to open with a personalized leading questions, like instead of asking, how was your day? Ask a specific person something that you have written down, like, did you play Minecraft this week? For how long? How long did you play? How was your brother's birthday? Yesterday was your brother's birthday. He told you yesterday or the day before yesterday. How was it? Did you have fun? Did you eat cake? Ask them personal questions. If you are in a face-to-face environment, as the students come in the classroom, this is something that I always used to do, and I loved. Okay, I used to stand at the door, by the door. Okay, and when each of my students came in, I would say hello. I would greet them by their names, and if there was something that I had to remember to ask them, something important to them, I would ask them at that moment. Okay, and they feel welcome. Okay, you make them feel welcome. You make them feel good. You work with that emotional part.
Correct. You create that safe environment for learning. Sure.
Exactly. So, creativity and positive mindset. What about this? Creativity leads to positivity. It leads to a positive mindset. How does that happen? How does creativity lead to a positive mindset? Teachers, think about it. What do you think? How could this happen? Creativity cleans your mind. Okay? Any creative activity helps you to get into a zone of
Positivity.
Complementation, contemplation, no? Into a different state. What did you say, Orelly?
I said it leads you to positivity because you're creating. You're creating, and when you're creating, you feel part of whatever you're doing. No, so for instance, if you think of Bloom's taxonomy, creation is the highest order thinking skill. So you are being in focused on whatever task you're doing, rather than thinking negatively about what you're doing, about what's going on in the world.
it takes your mind far away, no, from the everyday struggles, from everything that you're having troubles with. When you begin doing something creatively, a creative thing, something that you love to do. Okay, maybe some art, maybe some knitting, maybe I don't know anything that helps you create, that takes your mind off of all your troubles, of all your problems that have been worrying you, no?
Yes, and also you develop that part of yourself as well that is needed for language learning, actually.
Totally. And it makes you learn new skills, no?
Correct.
Okay, because art, creativity, maybe doing some art, is making ideas come to life, no?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so let's see. What is this? Okay, let us be creative.
Okay.
Okay, let us be creative. This, we could show it to our students, okay? And I would love Orelly to be the students, okay? And what would I ask you to do? Okay, I would ask you some questions about this, but I would like you to choose which perspective do you want to take? The cat's perspective or the girl's perspective?
I want to take the girl's perspective.
Oh, you want to be the girl. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can you tell me, why are you inside the jar?
I'm inside the jar because I can see there's food there and I'm feeling a little bit hungry.
Oh, okay. But how did you get inside? How did you get there?
Well, actually, the cat helped me to get in the jar.
The cat helped you get in the jar?
Yes.
Can you get out?
Yes, with his help. He's going to help me out again.
Do you want to get out?
Once I finish my food, yes. Once I finish my tea. My tea and scones.
Okay. You're going to drink some tea. You're very British.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. Do you have everything that you need inside the jar?
Well, for the moment, yes. I have some food and I have my tea, so I should be okay until Cat takes me out again.
Okay. And why is the cat looking at you?
Because he's making sure I'm okay.
Oh, are you communicating?
Oh, yes, telepathically.
Oh, wow. Wow. Are you friends?
We are very good friends, yes. We help each other.
Oh, wow. Do you think you could write this down? Do you think you could make like a little paragraph? Okay.
Sure. And I think, Idolina, this is a great activity, a very creative activity for students. As you can see, the input that we have in on the picture is very varied. You know, you can get your students' imagination, let go, and create fantastic stories. So I really like this type of activities because you are not focusing on one specific language. So you're giving them the opportunity to create, to develop their writing, but also developing their creativity. So both things two at the same time.
Imagine, Orelly, that a world where animals would keep humans as pets. Can you imagine that? What would happen?
Yeah.
Teachers, think about it. What do you think would happen? Imagine animals being the animals' pets.
Wow.
Animals are beautiful, so maybe we would be doing very good. Would anything be similar to our world as it is, or would it be different? We could also write about that. We could also ask about that, no?
Yes, it's there are endless opportunities for language development here and creativity. The sky's the limit.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so let's see. The Creativity Manifesto. What is this? What is a manifesto? Does anybody know? Do you know what a manifesto is, teachers? Okay, well, a manifesto is a public declaration of a policy, a declaration of aims. It is a statement of belief. Okay, so this creativity manifesto is a declaration of the core belief about how to nurture creativity. Okay, this is what we're going to see now. What will help work on reconnecting with the creative mind? Okay, that we probably had when we were 4 or 5 years old, and then we came to school and everything changed. Okay, when we were in kindergarten, we were so creative. Okay, and then something happens in our lives. We don't want this creativity to be lost. Okay, so what can we do? What can we do? How can we nurture creativity? Well, this is what it is about. Okay, how can we nurture creativity? So what do you think, Orelly? What is this about?
Very important. Be playful. I mean, when we take life too seriously, then this is when all this stress comes, and we go away from a positive mindset. So what we want is to nurture that, and by being playful will help us do so. So be prepared to make mistakes. We sometimes are too worried about making mistakes, right? But it doesn't matter. We're learning, right? Mistakes are part of the learning curve. So make it part of our lives and just be playful with them.
And make fun of yourself. Don't take yourself seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. Make mistakes. Allow playfulness to happen. Okay, so life is, we only live life once, and mistakes are learning. Okay, making mistakes from mistakes is where learning happens. No,
correct. Yeah, totally in agreement.
So, right. So, and also say what you think. Verbalize thinking. Allow time for being ambiguous, for speculating. Okay, for doing silly things in your life with the kids. Okay, with your children in the classroom. Don't be so serious. Okay, they will appreciate it very much.
Yeah, that's right, because they are like that, aren't they? They are like that. Like you were saying, when we go to kindergarten, we're so creative, and then something happens. I think this is part of it, isn't it? So let's just promote creativity in our classrooms as well with this, being playful.
And then it says here, don't jump in with the right answer. So don't jump in with the right answer. Besides, not everything has a right answer. Okay, not everything has an answer, much less a right answer all the time. Okay, so jump in with the right answer. Like we were saying, speculate. Okay, let's speculate. Let's be ambiguous. Okay, let fun happen in the classroom. Be playful. Let's, like it says here, no? Another very important point is being intellectually humble. Ooh, what does it refer to, being intellectually humble?
Well, it's not that we as teachers or everyone has the right answers or the correct answers to everything, or that we know everything, right? So we are teachers in the classroom. We know English more than students. However, it doesn't mean we cannot learn from them. As teachers, we can learn from students. As students learn from us. We can all learn from each other, right? And actually, creativity comes from not knowing. That's when you become creative. Let's take the example of the pandemic. We had so much time at home that we didn't know what to do with it, and we had to be creative to keep our children occupied, or to keep ourselves busy as well. No, so creativity comes from not knowing.
Right. And this refers to also that to be able to recognize, like Orelly said a little while ago, that the things that we believe in are or could be, in fact, wrong. That maybe we are believing in things to be right, but in fact, they are wrong. Okay? We don't own the truth. And like Socrates said, I know that nothing. I know. Being intellectually humble, I know that I know nothing. When we don't know, is when we begin to find ways, creative ways, okay, to solve problems. That's when we don't know. And so not knowing is not bad. On the contrary, it's good. Okay.
Lead us to growth.
Right? It leads to growth. Exactly. Just exactly like that. And something else, embracing ambiguity. What is this about? Ambiguity. What is it about?
Exactly, it is. It's really interesting to this thing of ambiguity. I think some of us don't like it too when we don't know. We want to have the right or the wrong answer. However, there's no one right answer for many things, and especially for language. You know, in language that we teach English, you have one set of rules or one rule, but then you have 300 exceptions to the rule. So we, as teachers, but also students, need to learn to understand this. You know, there is ambiguity and embrace it. So don't fight it like, no, I want one right or wrong answer. No, it's just
it helps you find
options.
other options, no?
Yeah, exactly. Like it says here, right? Discuss the options. Discuss it with your students. Discuss it with, with all your groups, and you can do this as well as students to give you a sensible answer and a silly answer. So they know that there is just one chance for the right answer. So there's just
correct.
There is variety.
There's not one sole truth, no?
Exactly.
So allow for playfulness. Let play flourish in your class. Fantastic. And beware of creativity killers. What are creativity killers? Are there?
Can creativity be killed?
Could it be killed? It definitely. What can kill creativity, Orelly? Do you know?
Well, like it's the poison of the right answer. We were talking about that just earlier. You know, language is ambiguous in many ways. So there's no certainty in language learning. So let's just be expose students to different types of activities that are open-ended, that have open-ended answers. So it's easy for them. So they see that there's more than one answer. There's no one right or wrong answer.
Killing someone, like telling someone that they're wrong. Does that kill you? Does that kill your creativity?
Yes.
Definitely.
Imagine if I tell you you're wrong. No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's it.
A correct answer is not the same as the correct answer. Is that right? What does that mean? We had already talked about this. There is no perfect correct answer. We can say different things in different ways, and it could be right. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Moving too quickly to a solution, that also kills creativity. You don't allow for creativity to happen. Okay. When you give the solution, when you find the solution immediately. So finding it is what makes you creative, no? Looking for other options, looking for solutions. There could be many solutions to a specific problem. There's not only one sole truth. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So, brain breaks, mindfulness, music, breathing. What about this? Okay. What are brain breaks? Quick breaks. Focus, no? Refocus so that you can return to work feeling centered and ready to learn again, no? When do we need a brain break, Orelly?
Well, every time you feel tired, that you feel weary, you feel like, oh, I'm getting tired, or I'm just not finding the correct answer to this, or I don't know how to solve this problem or this task that I have at hand, then it's a time for a brain break. And you get, to help you to go back into the positivity, you can use brain breaks, you can use mindfulness, you can use music, you can use breathing. There are all these different techniques and ideas that can help you, right?
Okay, we'll see a few, but we promise that while we were doing this presentation, we found so many useful pages in the internet. So we're going to put all these links in a document that we're going to share with the coordination, so they will share them with you. Okay, we promise to send that, because about brain breaks, about mindfulness, activities that are fantastic. So let's see. Let's take a little break. Okay, everybody. Please breathe deeply, and let's take a little break with this. Let our problems wash away.
It's a long day. Your head is full of noise, conversations, information, emotions. We don't need all of those things. We can clean away some of that noise, some of those words. Stand up. Make sure you're comfortable. Breathe in, 1, 2. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 1, 2. Breathe out, 1, 2.
Okay, fantastic. This is another activity. What is it about, Orelly?
Okay, you need to relax, breathe, and you are going to think of the scenery. Imagine you're on a boat and think of all the things that you are hearing, you are smelling, you are seeing. Imagine you are there on a boat.
Okay, I see beautiful water, blue water, different shades of blue. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely peaceful.
Can you taste anything? Is there anything you can taste?
Yes, I taste a little bit of salty. Something tastes a little bit salty. I love salty things. Okay, so it tastes good.
Okay. Is there anything else that you hear? Is there anything you can
Yes,
hear?
I hear the waves. I hear the waves crashing on my boat, and that makes me feel very relaxed and very peaceful.
Exactly. So this is another type of activity that you could do that you can find in the links that we're going to send you. And is there another one, because I think we only got
Yes,
2
put a
minutes.
little move in your day. You want to get your students active again. Okay, so there are lots. We found this page that has fantastic songs, teachers, and fun ways that you can move throughout the day on breaks that you can give your students. We're going to just play a little piece, okay? But all of these songs, they're in the link that you see there. So if you can take a picture, or we will send you the links, okay? Anyway, not or, and we will send you the links. Okay, but just listen to this. This is so catchy. Okay, just a little bit.
Put a little move in your day. Do some stretches in the morning before you start your day. Take a break from TV, move around. You'll feel good, you'll be strong when you're moving all day long. Put a little move in your day.
Okay, and then it says a whole bunch of other things, okay? We also have relaxed breathing. And we're going to give you this document also of different kinds of breathing that you can do to relax. Okay, so you can relax by breathing, by doing different exercises, breathing. Can you just tell us one, Orelly, because time is running. We're running almost out of time.
Yes, breathing is a very nice way to relax, easy, cheap, and quick. So here on the screen, you have different types of breathing techniques. Let's have a look at the first one, which is called the alternate nostril breathing. So what it means is that you alternate your nostrils to breathe. So first of all, one, you put like that.
Let's do it.
You breathe through the left nostril, and then in and out, and then the other one, the left one, and then you breathe through the right one. But feel it. You need to feel it. Okay. So There are so many nice ideas and techniques that can help you throughout your day. Don't take more than 1-2 minutes and then you're there. So the idea is to refocus on whatever task you're doing. Stop and restart. Okay?
Fantastic.
But we're going to send you this as well. Okay.
Yes,
Next
we are.
one.
So you can have all the different techniques and you can do a different one every day. Okay? What would this be? People buy me to eat, but never eat me. What am I? Write it in the chat, teachers. Can you tell us? People buy me to eat, but they never eat me. What am I? What do you think it is, Orelly?
Is it a fork?
Let's not tell them.
Oh, okay. Well, I said.
Let them figure it out. Okay. We hope you can figure it out. Copy it, teachers, and find out if you cannot figure it out yourselves right now. Okay?
That's right.
Next one. Growth mindset. What about growth mindset? What is a growth mindset? A growth mindset is the belief that intelligence improves through study and through practice. Intelligence improves, and children with a growth mindset tend to see challenges as opportunities to grow because they understand that they can improve their abilities by pursuing them, by pushing themselves. Okay, they can improve. So if something is hard, they understand that will push them to do better, to be better. No?
Yeah, as opposed to a fixed mindset where it's the opposite.
Right.
It's like, oh, I cannot do that, and that's it because I don't have enough skills. And then they freeze,
Okay.
and then there's no resilience. So what we're looking for is obviously a growth mindset where students and ourselves can continue learning.
So what would a person with a growth mindset say opposed to a person with a fixed mindset? What do you think? What do you think this is? I'm not good at this. I'm awesome at this. It's good enough. Who would say this, Orelly? A person with a growth mindset or with a fixed mindset?
I think it's with a fixed mindset, isn't it? Because you're saying I'm not good at this, and someone with a growth mindset will say it differently. I'm not. This is difficult, but I'm going to find ways to do it. So a growth mindset would not accept the word can't. I can't do this. That's not for a growth mindset. They always find ways to keep growing.
And the next one is to grow. No, what am I missing? Look for ways of finding an answer to this. What am I missing? What do I need? I'm on the right track. Yes, I'll continue doing this. Is this really my best work? Can I do better? This is what a person with a growth mindset will say, no?
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Exactly, as you were saying, as opposed to a fixed mindset. And this is what we're looking for, because this will keep you in the positive side of things. And this is what we're looking for, to be positive.
Okay, so these are things a person with a fixed mindset would say, opposed to what a person with a growth mindset would say. So the orange ones are growth mindset, and the blue ones are fixed mindset. Okay, so let's try to change. Let's try to change in our students the way they answer, the things that they do, how they talk about themselves and their intelligence and all that. So that we can help them with working on their growth mindset, opposed to a fixed mindset. No.
Yeah, that's what we want. Now we want to foster in students a growth mindset, because that will help them as skills for life, basically, right?
Totally. Exactly with this also. Who likes to hear you just have to be positive? Do you like to hear that all the time? Or stop being so negative?
No, Idolina, that doesn't help.
Okay. Right. How does that help you?
No, it doesn't.
Instead, open validation phrases. For example, instead of saying, you just have to be positive, why don't you tell me? I'm sure it feels hard to be positive in a situation like this. I understand you. I am emphatic with you. Okay? I have empathy towards you. Okay? Instead of saying, stop being so negative. you can tell that person it's normal to feel negative in a situation like this. Of course you can feel negative. Of course we have all felt negative at some times in our lives. Okay, and it's something that we live. Okay, it's something that we are allowed to do. We are human. Okay?
That's right. We are humans, and then we can feel like that. But then when someone comes and just says, stop being so negative, it doesn't really help. We need more, if you want to be helpful, then maybe something like it says on the right column. It's normal to feel negative in a situation like this, but if we be more positive, this will help, right? So, and sometimes even you just want to be heard, right?
Totally. Okay. Maybe we just want to be heard. We just need somebody to listen to us. We don't need you to say anything. No, just listen to me. Just listen to how frustrated I am, and that will make me feel better. I just want to say how I feel. Okay, so just listen to me. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Okay, and the last exercise. How fast can you do this? Say the color of each word. Don't read the word. Say the color. So let's do this together, Orelly. Can we?
Let's try.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Red,
Red, black,
green,
green,
blue, yellow,
red,
blue,
yellow,
black,
black,
red, green,
black.
black, blue,
Yes.
green, blue, red.
Where are you? Lost
Black.
you.
I can tell you. I'm in the green. In the green, that is black.
Right. Well, probably the teachers found the same thing here. And well, what are these? These are actually called the brain breaks, teachers. So
Right.
this is what we did. If you notice, we did 3 throughout the presentation, because these are brain breaks to kind of stop the focus on the presentation, but focus on something else. So that's the idea of these exercises. And we're on
So
time.
what did we see? Time is up. What did we see, Orelly? Okay. If possible, the things that you cannot control.
Trauma, adapt, growth. Yeah, we saw that. From trauma, we go to growth. So that's a positive. We need to establish boundaries, limit your screen time outside of classes, set daily goals.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Personal connection with students.
Creativity.
You. Right, Orelly.
Creativity promotes a positive mindset. So we saw the link between both of them, how important creativity is.
We saw brain breaks, brain teasers.
Music, physical activities as well are good for keeping positive.
Right. Breathing exercises for relaxation.
We also looked at what a growth mindset is and how toxic positivity can affect us, right?
So stop saying sorry for everything. Stop saying sorry for
being busy. It's your own time, isn't it?
Yeah,
for
I am
speaking
going
up
to
for
say
yourself.
sorry.
Yes, we finished.
I had to think. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Sometimes I do have to say sorry, like right now. But thank you very much. I'm just gonna ask you guys just one quick question, because we don't want to take too much of your time, if that's okay with you.
Perfect.
Sure.
And we have one question that came from Ana González, and she's asking how to promote participation or creativity with beginners. You know, sometimes when we're working with beginner students, it's kind of hard. So how can we do that?
You want to begin, Orelly, or should I begin? We can show them. We don't need to give them the instruction in Spanish. We can show them what we want them to do. Okay, and we can tell them. We can give them a choice. Okay, what do you say, Orelly?
Yes, you could use the total physical response, right? So even if they don't understand the whole of the vocabulary, but you can help them with the visuals. Like, for example, that picture that we were showing, I think is a very nice picture that we show on during the presentation, and point to them, and then using the mime and all that. to help the students understand. So don't let the language to be an
boundary.
an obstacle for that. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Teachers are happy. You know, you are very loved amongst the Brownie teachers community. You were here with us last year, and the comments are just going crazy. And I just want to read one comment. It's not a question, but a comment. And this one comes from Maribel Torres Diaz. And she just said, you both are fantastic. And I think we all agree. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's very nice, Maribel.
Thank you so much.
Teachers. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Enjoy.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
And now we're going to have Vanessa, si nos puedes acompañar para que hagamos el cierre de la sesión, bueno, de esta sesión.
Muchas gracias, Enrique. Muchas gracias, maestra Idolina y maestra Orelly, por su participación. Bueno, pues vamos a seguir con el siguiente tema. Perdón, el siguiente webinar va a ser impartido por el maestro Federico González Hernández y el tema va a ser de maestro a maestro, comunicación para el crecimiento profesional. El maestro Federico González estudió enseñanza del idioma inglés y cuenta con certificaciones de CELE, UNAM, IPN y Cambridge English Language Assessment. Federico ha trabajado por más de 20 años en escuelas tanto públicas como privadas, en todos los niveles. De igual manera, ha dado cursos de capacitación a profesores y preparado docentes y alumnos para presentar certificaciones internacionales del idioma inglés. Ha sido consultor con diferentes instituciones en el área de desarrollo e implementación de programas de inglés en todos los niveles. Asimismo, ha colaborado para el desarrollo de cursos de capacitación a profesores y usualmente otorga sesiones de capacitación y presentaciones académicas a docentes de todo México y Centroamérica. Bienvenido, maestro Federico.
Thank you so much. How's everyone? It's a pleasure to be with you. Hello, hello. Well, thank you. I cannot hear you, but I'm going to start sharing my screen. I don't know if you can hear me there. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Hi, yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you and we can see your presentation.
And you can see my presentation. Okay,
yes.
very good. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity on behalf of the Anglo and Magnify. I'm so happy to be here with you all. And well, we are about to begin. Can we start now?
Yes, we can start.
Okay, thank you, teacher. So it's a pleasure, as I was saying, to be here with you today. And well, it's something very important that I would like to talk about today. And well, the part of our presentation is this: communication skills for professional growth. And well, as we may know, these years have been very difficult. These last 2 years or this year and a half. And thank you so much, teachers. Thank you for all the great effort you have made. We know it's not been easy for you, for everyone. I myself, I'm a parent, and well, it's been really complex for all of us as teachers, as students, as parents to work in this time. And well, I know that you have been doing a great job. And well, we would like to thank you all for this hard year. And talking about this, what difficulties have you faced in this past time? We know that apart from the pandemic, that is really complex and that it's been a very sad situation. We have faced other difficulties, rather whether it's economical difficulties in the family and all that. What difficulties have you faced? We know, and I know that we have lots of resources now, and technology is very at hand. But even with all that, it's been difficult for many of us. So please think about a little bit about the difficulties you've had and you faced this past year or so, a little bit more than a year, almost 2 school years, and we are about to start the third one on this way. So think about all the difficulties you faced. Okay, thinking about these difficulties you faced, what things have you learned? Mm, as a teacher, as a coordinator, what things have you learned from your students? What things have you learned from yourselves? And have you learned anything that you didn't know about you, how resilient you are, how hardworking you are, how many things, all the many things that you are doing right now that you thought you didn't think you were able to do? So we have been doing many things and many new things with all this pandemic situation, right? And how have you learned those things? Did you acquire a new skill? Did you learn anything new? Of course, as we have been, as I have mentioned, you are more proficient now at technology, right? And everything has been focused on that technology, learned how to teach on Zoom, Teams, and I for sure you have become experts in technology, and maybe we need to learn a little bit more, but we have learned a lot of things, and these things we have learned them in many ways, right? Probably by watching videos. Have you watched YouTube, or what kind of videos have you watched on many different platforms that the publishing houses have? They have many videos, they have many tutorials. You have also been surfing the internet. Yes, the internet is, of course, a great help. Many of us still learn through books, and we read a lot of books. We check the books that we didn't check for so many years, and to help us work with all these new reality, as they call it, right? And also talking to your coworkers. Talking to your coworkers is something that I have always mentioned, as very nicely they said when they introduced me. I've been working with teachers for some years now, and well, one of the first, let's say, tips that I have given teachers all this time is that they need to talk to their peers. Who better than your peers to give you information or tips about the kids you're working with, about the books you're using, about how you're feeling and how to deal with all these things that are happening uh, in the past, in that are happening, sorry, in your everyday teaching, right? So talking to your coworkers. What about you, teachers? Do you talk a lot to your coworkers? Is it, I know prony teachers always get together. I have been at events with you. I have been giving trainings for some of you teachers at prony, so it's really nice that you work together and you share a lot of ideas, right? Because many of the things that you do are like that. So sorry, if we're talking about these 2 years, can you say that now you have more skills than 2 years ago? I'm reading your comments, and thank you. I know we have also a host that you read the comments and all that. I know we have a lot, but all in all, can you say that now you have more skills than 2 years ago? Think about it. And what kind of skills? For example, in myself, I think that now I'm more patient. As a teacher, I am more patient. As a teacher, also, I have learned to see everything, to see mm, to read different kind of things from my students. In a classroom, you usually have all your students, and you know who's quiet, you know who's participating, you know who's eager to participate, to say something. They are raising their hand or they are doing something. But right now, with the online classes, we have many different skills that we have developed, right? And as I was saying, one of them is you have to read and you have to check your students because sometimes they are connected. Just right now, I know we have many teachers, but from the chat, we know that you are participating, but we know that many of you may just be connected and doing something different, checking the cell phone, eating, or I don't know, because we cannot see you. And with your students, I know it's the same. So as a teacher, I think that I have learned to create an environment where students are and teachers also are feeling more comfortable and want to participate more, because once again, when you're in the school, they go to school to participate. When you are in a classroom, you know you're in a classroom and you're focused on that. But a difficult thing at home has been that there are many other distractors. You have the guy del fierro viejo, el de la basura, el del agua. You have your family, or as teachers, we have our kids running around because they are at home. Many of them are in classes, but also some don't go to classes. I myself have two kids. One is 9 and the other is 3. So the one that is 9 is usually in class, but my 3-year-old is running all around the house. And there are, as I was saying, many distractors. And this is as adults. So what about your little kids, right? And your students. So we have to take all this into consideration. I myself, once again, have developed this skill. Please, if you can, teachers, I'm going to give you 5 or 3 seconds just to make a list of 3 skills that you have developed. Writing on a paper or think about them a little bit later on. We're going to have the possibility to share these skills with the rest. There's a way that we're going to find apart from the chat that we have here. We are adapted to the. Let me just check a few things. I am seeing a lot of comments that say the dogs and the dogs. Yes, I also have a couple of dogs and they distract a lot. More confidence, teachers say yes. Communication with students, very good. Teachers, thank you. Uh, well, we have many things here: emphatic, resilient, confident, digital skills. Yes, thank you so much for sharing. We know, and once again, thanks a lot. But also, congratulations, because we know that it hasn't been easy. It's a really complex situation, and we all are doing great. So, thank you so much, teachers, for that. And well, part of this is talking about skills, right? How have we developed or acquired these skills? Well, you know that in order to develop a skill, sorry, we have to have advanced training. And well, this advanced training, we know that we get it in sessions that we have, like the one we're having today, or like all the sessions that you have throughout the year. Once again, with Tony, with the publishing houses, with us in the Anglo. So you're going to have lots of advanced training where we are going to get knowledge that is going to transform also our ways of thinking through learning, through competence, through training. Once again, experience, we develop abilities, and this is going to take us to growth. Acquiring a skill is growing. Learning something new is growing. Paying attention to all these things that we are acquiring is growing, and this is also very important because who doesn't like to grow? I mean, as a teacher, as a professional, as a person, we all like growing. Uh, so in this case, I think it's very important that we notice that we are going to develop skills, we are developing skills, and well, these skills are going to help us in two very important ways. In personal development, I mean, because if we many of us focus on the things that we have learned as professionals, right, in these 2 years, and you say to be more patient or different, to use different digital tools, organization, we create our lesson plans in a different way, we are doing many things, right? But how about the personal development? We have knowledge, we have a different quality of life. Have we changed our aspirations? teachers in this pandemic, have you seen your life in a different way? Do you know the potential that you have? Are you more aware of that? How have you seen your family? This is also professional growth. Many of us have seen that being at home has given us time or a little bit more time with the family, but not a lot sometimes, and the dynamics are different, right? So this personal development that we have through learning and developing these skills is very important because let's face it, we are always told you have to be a better teacher. This pandemic has to give you more tools to be a better professional, to be mm, better when you go back to classes. But what about also, as I was mentioning, this personal development? So let's, if you can share with us, quality of life. Someone says yes. It's also very important, this quality of life that we have with our family. So I really like this, talking about this personal development, because we can only be better teachers if we are better people. We can only share more or learn our knowledge with our students if we grow personally and internally. So it's something that you have to, and I would like you to take into consideration. I know many of you do it. So personal development is really, really relevant. And of course, because we are seeing our talents, and I have seen right now in this 1.5 almost 2 years that we have different talents, and that teachers develop different talents. And when it comes to developing new classes, once again learning digital tools, um, we have acquired a lot of knowledge, and once again going through skills and social abilities. Even though we are not face to face, I think we have learned. I mean, who could imagine 2 years ago, uh, a session where we had thousands of teachers on YouTube giving their comments simultaneously, and a host and a presenter being remotely. Where are we? We are in different places. I am in Mexico City, but I know the host may be in a different city or in a different state. And about you teachers, we're all, can you type in the chat where you are? We have teachers, of course, from Mexico City, Estado de Mexico. So we're going to have uh, people from all around the place. And once again, we are developing social abilities. The things that you're doing right now, the comments that you're sharing with us right now are social abilities. And you are not just sitting there and watching the presentation. You're sharing with us Chiapas, we have Ciudad de Mexico, Cuernavaca. Thank you. Thank you for sharing where you are. Chetumal, Monclova, Reynosa, Durango. So we have people from all around the country, and it's great to see you. And it's great to, well, not that you are seeing me, maybe let's say that. And it's great to have you in the session. And once again, who would have said that 2 years ago that we were going to have a session with all of you teachers connected just at the same time from 5 to 6:30, and people from all around the place. Sorry. Well, we're still seeing lots of you teachers sharing with us where you are. Wow, it's amazing, and thank you so much for sharing. So once again, this personal development, as I was saying, is going to take us to professional development, right? And in this professional development, we are going to have we are going to experience, we are going to learn, we're going to know, we are going to create. It's a continuing process. We are going to develop more responsibility. It's also in two directions, from you to your students or your institution, but also it has to be the other way back. So it's also something that we really have to think about, this professional development. And well, we share education and we engage. And this professional development is focused on this: share, educate, and engage. So this is what I'd like to talk about right now, because this is going to take us to communication. Uh, through communication, we are going to do this with our students, right? We have to develop once again this communication. And just tell me, teachers, how easy we could say that for teachers, it's very easy to communicate, right? It's something that we always do, communication and communicate correctly and assertively and all that. But how is communication between you and your students, teachers? Is it good? Is it easy? And also, how is communication between you and your, let's say, coordinators or authorities? Is it easy to have? Is it something that is going on pretty well, very, not with complications? How is also communication with your peers, with other teachers? Sometimes parents do not cooperate. Yes, how is communication with parents? I, I, I I'm a parent, I know, but I used to say that one thing that I didn't like about my kids or my students, it was their parents, right? Well, not all of them, but it's really complex to work with parents. And nowadays, on this dynamic that we're working to the distance, it is really challenging to work with kids, but it's also more challenging to work with the adults. And I say it myself because, as I was mentioning, I have a son that is usually connected, and well, I would like to be more with him, but it's not possible sometimes because we're working all the time. But we have to find the time as parents, and as I was saying, communication with parents is very necessary and relevant. And well, as teachers, we have to develop this communication, right? Communication, it means to share an idea, to express something that you want, that you need, that you want to convey, an idea that you want to convey. So communication is really important, and it's the base of everything, right? Communication has to do with what we have and want to share with the others and what want to share with the rest. So communication in this case is the soul of every institution. Everything you achieve results from communication. So think about this part. What if you are in an institution and you don't say how you feel, and you don't say what works for you, and you don't say anything. I mean, you just go to a place and you work, and that's it. You don't communicate anything to your institution. You don't say, you don't give any feedback. You don't say anything. Everything we achieve results from communication, good or bad. Sometimes I believe that we it's not that we don't know that, but that we can polish a little bit these communication skills. Sometimes we say things in a different way. Everybody gets it in a different way, but I believe that if we polish this skill, if we see the advantages of communicating in the best way possible, we're going to develop once again personally, but also and in consequence professionally. Okay, why? Because this is going to help others and myself to grow professionally, right? And how? But how? Well, it's very important because this communication is teaching teachers working together, right? We are usually working together, and this is going to take us once again to teachers communicating. Okay, we work together, but we have to communicate, and then, well, we are growing together because let's face it, we are as good as the institution we're in, and we all work really hard to, of course, be better teachers, but also to feel proud of working in an institution where we have very good teachers. So once I remember a friend that she started I started working with her many years ago in a publishing house, and she told me, Fede, I feel really good working with very intelligent and professional people because being good, I don't remember how she said it, but she said something like being good in a group of not very good teachers, is good, but it's not great. It's great to be good with a group of great teachers. I don't know if it's clear, but I think that working in institutions like where you are and thinking about growing yourselves, but also helping your peers to work and also giving that your institution a great name feels really great, really good, right? And thank you so much for your comments. And you're still giving us a lot of insight. Thank you so much. And it says when teachers come together to share information, resources, ideas, and expertise, learning becomes more accessible and effective for students. And please tell me if you disagree with this. I see it difficult that one, any of you is going to disagree with this. We come together to share information. What kind of information do you share with other teachers? This sharing information like ese grupo es bien latoso. You have to take into consideration this or that student. They have difficulties with this or with that. I mean, this is the kind of information that we share. Resources. We also share with teachers resources, websites, books, I don't know, learning materials, posters, everything we share with one another is going to help a lot. And ideas, of course, ideas. What better or how better to get new ideas, fresh ideas than from your peer teachers, right? And many times let's be also honest, right? The things that we do, we have seen them before. I mean, many of us or many of you may invent classes, right? May invent activities. I know that you create your own activities, but many of those activities we have seen them and we have transformed them. And just think about a teacher that helped you when you. How long ago did you start teaching? I have said that it's been almost 20 years, but how long ago did you start teaching? Please let us know. I know we have teachers here that have a lot of experience. We have teachers that are starting to, teach. But how long ago did you start teaching? Please let us know. How long ago? 10 years ago. Wow. 24, 21, 7, 10, 20. 10 years ago, 3 years ago, 9 years. Thank you so much for sharing, teachers. Wow. 31 years, 5 years, 9, 2, 12, 21. Well, in all these years, I remember one teacher. And please tell me if you remember one teacher that when you started teaching this 19, 15, 21, 30 years ago, someone that helped you a lot. Do you remember this teacher? Are you still in touch with this teacher? Someone that said, "Hey, don't worry, esto lo puedes hacer así." I mean, you can get ideas from this part. You know what works for me is using this book, is doing this with that, is doing this with students. Do you remember this teacher? I know you may. I know you may, and I remember two, especially two teachers, and then they became my friends. I don't know with you if you're still in touch with this teacher that at the beginning of your teaching career helped you with my dad. Someone said, "Oh my God, that was amazing." I could just saw that really quickly, and my dad teachers, of course. Yes, it's very good teachers that you remember. And this is really important because once again, when someone has more experience and when someone, and not only someone with more experience, but when someone wants to share with you, you're going to remember that and it's going to help you. And once again, as I was saying, all the activities that we do, we have we have seen them somewhere else. As teachers, what do we have to do? Well, we have to adapt and adopt these activities, right? Adapt them to our students' um, age, likes, dislikes, environment. We have to, all these resources and ideas, we have to adapt them to our students' background also, and we also have to adapt them to our style, because some of us might be more quiet, some of us might be more uh, expressive or louder, or but we are going to do the same activity, or kind of the same activity, but on our own style. And this is also really nice, because it doesn't matter that we saw this activity with other teacher. And I love teachers, because I don't see a very often that teachers say, "Ay, me copió esa actividad," or "He's doing what I did," or no. I have seen that teachers are very generous. The majority of teachers, let's say, majority of teachers, right? So, and we have to do that, because once again, learning becomes more accessible and effective for our students. And this is the target, right? We want our students to learn, we want our students to have a smooth experience, right? Because when we have uh, once I was thinking, and I was talking to some teachers, just give me a second, sorry. Once I was talking to some teachers, and I said, as an institution, we have to have the same, not the same kind of class, but the same structure. If in your institution, if in Prony, for example, we know, and it's this is not a session about that, but we have a structure of a class, right? You need to have this, you need to include this, and you need to also take this into consideration, pre, while, post, before, during, and after, and all that. And why is this important? Because we are going to give our students more or less the same experience, and the same experience in terms of instruction, in terms of structure, right? Of course, everyone is going to do it in a different way. You're going to put in your class your style, the way you like to work. If you like to jump, if you like to be loud, or if you like to play games, if you like to use songs. But when you stick to your structure, um, students feel comfortable. Just imagine one, and we have to use, if not the same tools, we have to use similar experiences for our students. Because just imagine in first grade, you're going to have one teacher, sorry, just think about being students, right? You're going to have one teacher that completes all the exercise from the book, that uses lots of pages in the workbook, and but never uses additional resources, never plays games, and never. It's okay. They are going to learn. But what happens if next school year they are going to have a teacher that never uses the book, always brings his or her handouts, and they they just use the book, which is okay. I mean, I'm not saying that one or the other is bad, but once again, you're giving them a different experience. And then on third grade, you're going to have a teacher that does nothing similar to the other two. It's going to become a little bit complex for students to have this accessible and effective learning, right? So when we share information, that's why we have programs, that's why we have structures in classes. When we have this, the learning experience for our students becomes more and more effective, more becomes smoother, becomes more and more attractive for them, because they feel comfortable. Who doesn't want, or who doesn't like to feel comfortable, right? Um, so that's why it's so important to share with your peers information, resources, ideas, and also the expertise, right? And well, the benefits of teacher collaboration, we're going to see right now a few benefits of the teacher collaboration. How much do you collaborate with your peers, teachers? Please tell us. Most of English teachers like sharing ideas. Thank you. I'm seeing, I agree with you, teachers. You don't feel alone when you talk to other teachers who go through the same problems. One feels that is understood. Yes, I think that in always, but especially in this pandemic, uh, our peers, our other teachers have become our biggest support, and our biggest support in terms of many things, right? In terms of course, professional practice, but also in terms of how we feel. But we're well. One of the benefits of teacher collaboration here I have is that is an increased academic effort. Since teachers who collaborate on instruction are all on the same page, they can increase the level of academic rigor to match the competences they want students to meet. Because we are all setting the bar here, and we collaborate once again on instruction, we are on the same page, and we are not going to accept less from our students. So if we collaborate, we're going to have once again this increased academic effort. And this is a great benefit because it is going to help our students, but once again, it is going to help us as teachers and the institution. Remember, this happens with every school, with any teacher, right? If you're usually from a school that has a high bar and students work together to have the same level or to maintain the same level, this is recognized. I was working many years ago in an institution, and it was uh, well viewed because it had a good level of English, and also teachers uh, look working there. Students want to study in that institution, and well, this is something that is going to give us good results, but also prestige as teachers and as an institution, right? Well, another benefit of teacher collaboration: increased understanding of student data. Teachers are better equipped to deconstruct relevant data and implement effective solutions from both formative and summative assessments. Once again, this is not a session about formative and summative assessments, but all of you know what formative and summative assessments are, right? Formative assessment, something that we do every class, session after session, and where we check uh, things that we can do in order to get to the final end. And summative assessments that are at the end of the semester, at the end of the week, at the end of the course, at the end of the year, to give a number to our students for something they have done. Teacher collaboration is going to help us to understand more this information because when we are in communication, we know why a number or an observation has been given, and we are going to be better equipped, as it says here, to deconstruct relevant data. Okay, and of course have effective solutions, because why was everyone so bad in this semester? Was it only me? Was it only my group, or it was only primero and tercero, or it was the whole school? What is being difficult for them? What problems did they have? And also, what can we do to improve this, right? How can we help our students? Because once again, uh, I love you, teachers. I love working with teachers. But in the end, what we do is, and all this that we do, meeting, and thank you so much. I didn't say thank you for joining this session at 5 p.m. I know it's been a long day for you. I know you have had a few sessions and all of you have worked all day. Thank you so much for this. But all in all, what we do is not for us or for other teachers. Everything that we do is for the students. um, just a little comment. I do this because, once again, I said I love working with teachers, but I love more working with students, and I want all the students in Mexico or everywhere I go to have better classes, to learn better English, to feel more comfortable when they are learning. And how am I going to achieve this? Well, working with teachers, but also, as it says here, finding tools to see what the problem is and to find solutions. Okay, so thank you so much, teachers. This is another benefit of teacher collaboration. Another benefit of teacher collaboration is that we have more creative lesson plans. When teachers communicate and share ideas, they also share an enlarged repertoire of instructional strategies that encourage creative instructions. How many of us, and just thinking about this teacher that helped you at the beginning of your teaching career, how many of us have acquired or learned ideas from other teachers? Do you know a teacher that is very creative? Please tell us in the comments. Do you know a teacher that you admire because he or she creates amazing handouts or amazing activities with music, or someone that is very proficient with technology, or another teacher that has lots and lots and lots of games to play in the class? Well, it's great for them, but it's also good for us because we are learning. And because, once again, as I was saying, we are going to feel in the need to implement those classes. I have been an academic consultant for almost 10 years now. And you just had a session with two former co-workers, Idolina and, sorry, I forgot her name, and Orelly, right? And I have been, once again, an academic consultant, and I admire them. And when I see their sessions, I just think I can do something like that. I want to do something like that. And I watch presentations from them, from other academic consultants, from other teachers, because I want to be a better teacher, a better consultant. And these are strategies and activities that I introduce in my session. So many of us learn from other teachers. Who better than to learn from than other teachers? So it's very important to check all this. Once again, we're going to have more creative lesson plans. Okay. Well, another benefit of teacher collaboration, and I read this in one of the comments, less teacher isolation. While teachers should not feel forced to collaborate to avoid any contrived congeniality, having the opportunity to share ideas and information combats professional loneliness and frustration. Please, teachers, tell me in the chat who doesn't feel alone sometimes. With all the reports we have to send, with all the classes we have to prepare, with all the paperwork we have um, to send, and with all these things, how who doesn't feel alone sometimes? Me, everyone. Yes, me. I do sometimes. Me. Yes, all of us. Yes, all of us feel sometimes lonely and sometimes frustrated, right? And once again, if you share a comment, you may have teachers that you know that are going to listen to you. You may know teachers that are going to tell you it's going to be okay. Uh, there are going to be teachers that it's not that they don't feel alone or they don't feel frustrated, but sometimes there are some people that manage these things better. So this teacher collaboration helps us to be closer to our peers, is going to help us to feel better, to feel not to feel alone, to feel accompanied by others that are having the same problems as us. Because, well, in this almost 2 years, we know that most people have been working from home. And I love all the other occupations, but many other occupations just connect to their jobs or to their have home office from 9 to 5, from 8 to 4, from 3 to 7. But uh, teaching is not only from 9 to 3. Teaching is not only from 7 to 2. Teaching is you're still working. It's 5:39 p.m. and you are still working. You're in a session with someone that is talking and talking, but you're still working. I mean, it's you could be doing something different. Thank you so much for being with us today. But it's it's very difficult to work to the distance, and it's very difficult, and it's more difficult when you work a lot and you teachers work a lot. So it's nice to have communication with someone that feels just like you, with someone that says, I don't have time to cook for my family because even though I'm home, I have many things to do. I don't have time to be with my kids because even though I'm home, I have many things to do. So someone else is there for you, and it's going to be the teachers. Well, mainly in these days, all the time, okay, it's quite difficult. Okay, thank you very much for your comments, teachers. And well, however, is it easy to communicate with others? Is it easy to communicate with the teachers, with other teachers? Is it easy to communicate with your authorities, with the principals, directors, with all the others? What do you think about these teachers? Our messages are always understood in the way we think them. Our messages are always understood in the way we think them. Do you agree with this? That your messages, what you want to say, is always understood in the way you think it? With your students, with your peers, with at home, with your, I don't know. No. I would say no. And it's not about the message. And it's not also about the receiver. It's sometimes the way we say it, right? I wish it was like this. We all wish it was like this, but it is not. We usually fail on that. Okay? So, what can we do? Please let us know, teachers. What can we do? How can we communicate better? Because we have seen the benefits of communicating. We have seen that if we communicate, we are going to feel supported by other teachers. We are going to have information that is going to be read in the best way possible to find answers to problems. We know that we're going to have, those are the benefits, right? We are going to have better, more creative classes. Those are the benefits of having a good communication with our peers. But is it easy? How can we do it? Be patient and respect. Okay. Not always, many times it's misunderstood. Improve techniques, keep calm. Yes. Well, so in this case, what I'm going to show you and what I'm going to share with you is a few effective teacher collaboration strategies. Okay, effective teacher collaboration strategies. Thank you for your comments. Okay, we are going to find, I'm going to show you a way in a second to share all this. We know we're going to have the chat, okay, but we're going to work with something a little bit later, okay? But once again, effective teacher collaboration strategies. Can you think of a few of them? What strategies do you use? What strategies do your peers use? What strategies are implemented in your institutions? Do you even implement effective or teacher collaboration strategies? Effective or ineffective, I don't know, but do you implement teacher collaboration strategies? Okay, we have no, not really, no, good attitude. Okay, paraphrase ourselves, communication. Well, the first one that I want to share with you is develop and agree upon a shared vision and mutual goals. For example, if your team identifies that it is committed to building relationship with students and student learning, set goals related to that vision, discuss how to reach the goal, and assess progress regularly. The problem sometimes is that everyone has a different goal. Every teacher has a different goal and different vision sometimes. And I'm not saying you teachers, but in general, right? Sometimes the vision, what's your vision, teachers? What do you want? Do you want your students to learn? Do you want your students to pass year? Do you want to finish the teaching hour? Do you want to just finish the job and go home? Do you want, I don't know. That's something that many of us have different vision and different goals, right? So when we have all of them, when that is different, uh, chances are that we are going to have problems, because in class we are going to work related to our goals. We are going to go to work with our goals in mind. And if everyone has a different goal, everyone is going to work in a different way. So once again, what is your vision as institution? And what are your goals as teachers or as institutions? I want my students to have a meaningful learning, and I want them to learn English. Yes, we have class goals, personal goals. Yes, we have to have better students for the future. Yes, and once again, we have to develop and agree upon a shared vision and mutual goals. Of course, we're going to have different kinds of goals. My goals, or our goals as institution, our goals as teachers, as a group, uh, with our students, and my personal goals. And I'm going to work on that personal goals in a different way. But in this case, if we're talking about teacher collaboration, a good idea is to once again identify that what are you committed to, what you want to do. Okay, you want your students to learn English, how are you going to do it? Okay, you want your students to have a meaningful learning, how are you going to do it? Okay, so and once again, what can you do as a team to get there? You're going to set the goals, you're going to discuss and create a plan on how to reach the goals, but also you need to assess the progress regularly. And sometimes there is the point where we fail, because we think about a goal, we plan it, but then we don't have a correct assessment. Okay, so once again, please take this into consideration, develop and agree upon a shared vision and mutual goals. Okay, that is going to be one of the effective teacher collaboration strategies. Okay, another one, foster a sense of community, embrace a sense of community. We all like uh, being a community. We all like being part of something, and this is this gives lots of good results with our students, right? When they feel part of the group, they feel part of the flock, they feel part of the environment that we are creating, they are going to participate more. And we as teachers, of course, are going to participate more and to feel more part of it. I was telling you, I have worked in many institutions, and one of the things that I have admired in most of them is that the teachers are very close. And sometimes, or most of the times, the institution takes care of you and sees how you feel, and where you are in terms of feeling as part of the group, and if they can do something to help you achieve that. Okay, collaboration is about all about building relationships. Taking the time to get to know your colleagues and relate on a personal level develops a greater sense of respect and trust. Like any relationship, collaborative teams take time to develop and increase in strength and productivity over time. Yes, let us know how close you are. I know that many of you have parties, have reunions in these consejos técnicos. I have been there. You buy tamales, se ponen de acuerdo para la comida, you help each other, you build relationships, and you get to know your colleagues, and you relate on a personal level. This is very important because this is the way we start with collaboration. I want my little students to communicate in English. We're still sharing. Your teachers are still sharing with us in the comments. Yes. Okay. So once again, what do you do in your sessions, in the sessions that you have together? Right now, we know we are to the distance, and maybe you are in the chat telling each other this presentation is really good, this presentation is not good, the presenter this, the presenter that idea I can relate to. So even right now, to the distance, you may be communicating with your teacher, you may be communicating with your friends, and you know sharing ideas about what we are seeing today. So this is the way we create and we develop relationships. And once again, it develops a greater sense of respect and trust. Because once again, who doesn't like to work in a place where you feel respected and where you trust that you're going to be able to rely on your peers, right? So we are going to foster a sense of community. Collaboration is all about building relationships. Yes, thank you. I really love this comment from a teacher. Collaboration is all about building relationships. Yes, because how can we collaborate if we don't have how can this collaboration be efficient, be real, be trustworthy if we don't have a relation with someone? How can this collaboration be effective uh, if we don't have a relation with the other one? And how can we trust other people if we don't start creating these relationships, if building these relationships? Okay, so please, once again, foster a sense of community. And this is also very relevant to have with your students. I mean, I know you do it with your students. What do you do when a student is feeling outside of the group? What do you do when a student is not working very well with others? With a student that says, "Híjole, teacher, es que I don't like working with other students. I prefer, puedo hacer eso yo solo," when it's working in teams, right? They say, "I want to work alone because I work better by myself." And as teachers, what do you do when a student says that? When a student says, "Teacher, no, yo no quiero trabajar con algún equipo. I want to work alone and I do it better alone." We try to include them, right? We try to say, "Okay, we are going to do this so you can join this team, so you can build a relationship with your classmates, and so we can help you." Yes, I try to convince them to join a team, someone says. Yes. Uh, of course, right? We as teachers encourage our students to work in teams, to trust, to respect the other ones, to share. Yes, your presentation is going to be great if you do it alone, but if you work with a team, you're going to have better ideas and you're going to collaborate. And in fact, many of us do not accept, when it's working in teams, do not accept a work um, of one student alone, right? So why should we do it with ourselves? Why should we say, "No, I'm a great teacher and I don't need," and not you, of course, not teachers from Prony, because I know many teachers from Prony and you're amazing. But why should a teacher say, "I don't need other teachers. I don't need advice. I don't need ideas. I don't need to collaborate with other teachers because I can do it better on my own"? Because some teachers do that. Some teachers feel, I don't know, afraid or uncomfortable of working with others. So why, if we tell our students that they should work in teams and all the benefits of working in teams, why shouldn't we do the same? Okay, so just think about that. the team fails. Okay, we say the importance to work together. Sometimes they don't like it. Doesn't matter what they say. Them they don't like working with others. We're always learning from others. Yes. Okay. So thank you so much for your comments. You're 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 participating a lot, and this is great. Okay. And of course, sometimes it's that we don't like people, right? But as Abraham Lincoln said, I don't like that man. I must get to know him better. Okay, because sometimes it's just a matter of perception. Sometimes it's just that we don't like someone because something we saw doesn't feel right. But then we get to know them and we love them. I don't know if this had happened to you with friends, with couples, with bosses, with people that you have met, and that at the beginning you didn't like this person. And then when you got to know them, you really like them, you appreciate how they are. And then sometimes we even make the comment, híjole, es que me caías bien mal, right? And we say, but you are a nice person. And once I had the opportunity to know you better, you're amazing. Well, sometimes we just confirm that why we don't like people, right? But most of the times, most of the times, when we get to know people, we feel better about them, right? And like they say, never judge a book by their cover. It happens. Yes, it happens. It happens very often. Teachers say that, yes. Okay, thank you. So, once again, another teacher collaboration strategy, right? So, let's go to the following. Another effective teacher collaboration strategy: establish group norms and expectations. Okay. Unfortunately, collaboration can be stressful and uncomfortable at times. Educators are typically passionate about their work and beliefs, which causes us to be vulnerable in groups of people who know our strengths and weaknesses. It is important to develop a culture of trust, respect, and humility for everyone to thrive. And this is very common, right? Es que se siente que sabe mucho, es que I'm uncomfortable, I don't like teaching with others in front of other students, I don't like them to observe my classes because they are going to criticize me and they are going to say that I am horrible, se creen mucho, I don't know, all these things that don't happen with teachers, right? All these things that uh, sometimes happen and that make us feel stressed and uncomfortable because once again we feel exposed, we feel vulnerable, and we need to understand that it is not about us, and we need also to understand that collaborating is not a competition. It's not saying who knows more or who can do more things or who can contribute more to what we are doing. It's about collaboration, is about giving and sharing what you have and identifying what is going to help the common purpose. And in this case, once again, it's important to develop a culture of trust, respect, and humility. I know you're going to say, yes, Federico, but sometimes we have problems because there are many teachers that are new and they don't like, or many teachers that are experienced and many. Yes, I know, and I have lived examples like that, and I have known people like that. But that's, let me just say, that's their problem. I mean, and that's an issue they may have, and we may know someone that wants to know everything and wants to win always, but that's just their issue and that's their problem. It's important for us to share and create norms and rules that make us all feel comfortable. Once again, I think that as teachers, we have to establish what we establish for students. Uh, how can you avoid this with students? How can you avoid this with a group of students that don't want to collaborate because there is going to be one that is going to criticize everyone, and is going to be one that is not going to let the other ideas flow, and someone that is going to say that nothing is good but only what he or she says, because we have classes like that, right? How can we solve something like this, teachers? Teamwork. I normally say to the students they have to teamwork among teachers and Spanish teachers. Okay, okay, this is also something that is really important, right? Not only as the Spanish, not only with the English teacher, with the English teachers, but with everyone. Be respectful, not forcing it. Share knowledge. Okay. Try to model how to be a mature human being. Yes. We need to respect all the ideas and always have a good attitude. Yes. Tolerance. Yes. And remember that at the beginning, I was saying that we cannot have professional growth if we don't have personal growth. All the things that you're saying, teachers, are personal characteristics or personal things that we have to develop in order to work as a group. And then once again, is going to take us to this professional growth. And well, my sister is a teacher and she helps me a lot. As it is said, to be humble. Okay, so yes, teachers. So all these things that we recommend or suggest to our students are needed to implement with us. Just think about a teacher. We always think about students, right? And we don't want them to feel bad. We don't want them to feel insecure. So just think about a peer that is very good, that has lots of ideas, but it's quite reserved. And he or she wants to share with you, but he or she is not going to do it because the somebody is going to criticize or somebody is not going to accept. So once again, establish group norms and expectations. Say in your consejos or say in your groups what you expect from the rest, but also what is allowed or not. Rules are always good. If you establish rules and once again you follow them, well, I think you're going to be safe. Okay. Well, this is another collaboration strategy. Delegate roles and responsibilities as well as protocols for communication and time management. Okay, once again, we have to delegate roles and responsibilities as well as protocols for communication and time management. We have a host right now in the session, and he is helping us. In case something happens, he's going to tell us, no, Federico, it's not like this, or no, teachers, please be careful with these comments, or Federico, you're saying something that is not being understood, or the language you're using is not the correct with the audience. So we're going to have roles and responsibilities. And of course, once again, protocols for communication and time management. Of course, time management is so important. I believe we don't have to force anyone, but once again, if we have and we set a time in a reunion or a session or whatever you want to call it for everyone to do something and to say something, everyone is going to feel once again is going to have this sense of community and is going to feel a part of the group, and the objectives and the expectations and the goals that you set and achieve once again are going to be uh, from all the group from everyone, right? Well, leverage discussion, another one, to work through conflicts. Even though we want to set a nice community and we are going to establish rules and all that, we are going to have problems. Why? Because we're humans and because we're people and because it's it's in us, right? And the more people and the more collaboration and the more communication we have, the more possibilities we are going to have for conflicts to arise. Okay, so we are not going to be able to avoid them. We can prevent bigger issues and bigger conflicts, but sometimes we do everything that we can and everything possible, and we have all the ideas to avoid, but we end up having problems. Okay, so dialogue can actually lead to deep professional learning for educators as they explore new ideas for teachers. Dialogue requires a few things. And someone says, do you know, in the chat, someone says, do you know an activity or dynamic for teachers working at the same school can use a strategy to foster communication and collaboration? I think we can work with that in just a second. A teacher asked for that, but it is related to this active listening, because dialogue requires active listening and willingness to share ideas and a belief in the power of communication. Sometimes we have a difficult attitude and we say, ¿para qué te digo si no me vas a entender, right? Or why should I say something if you're not going to participate? No, why should we even get together if no one is going to say anything and it's going to be the same person and it's going. I believe that this willingness to share and I believe in the power of communication are crucial. Why, once again, if we talk about students, why should we put students that have problems together if we are not believing in the power of communication? Why should we ask them to share their feelings, their emotions, and their thoughts if we don't think that this is going to help them? So, as teachers, when problems arise, when conflicts arise, we need to appeal for dialogue. Dialogue is very important, and dialogue, once again, with rules. We are going to establish some ground rules so this is going to be effective. Once again, active listening, a willingness to share ideas, and a belief in the power of communication. Okay. Yes, a teacher says we have to be open to the dialogue. Yes. Yes, agree. Never evidence students in front of others. Yes, this is also something that we need to avoid, right? Telling people that they are wrong. Nobody likes being wrong, and it's just sometimes in when we are with people in the same level or with, let's say, with teachers, there are a lot of egos, and we want to show that we know more, but we have to once again take a lot of things into consideration and be careful. Okay. Well, we need also to develop a conflict management plan. Okay, although dialogue opens doors to new possibilities, it can also open the door to conflict. It is a good idea to develop a conflict management plan, monitor your own emotions, and always use your professional judgment. Why are you going to use your professional judgment? Because it worked. It has worked. It works with your students. It works with your kids. It works in your everyday activities. So please use your professional judgment, and in order to avoid bigger problems, develop a conflict management plan. We are going to do this, we can do that, and all this. Okay. And this conflict management plan could start with communication. Okay. And this is going to be crucial, not only amongst teachers. We can use it with our students. You can use it at home. You can use it everywhere where there is conflict. And as I was saying, conflict exists everywhere. So number one is going to be communication. Okay. Listen without interrupting each other. And this is very common, right? We are listening to people, and especially when we are in conflict, we are listening to the other one, and number one, we interrupt them. We don't allow them to finish, and we are just listening to respond or to counterattack or whatever you want to call it. Okay. No, we have to listen without interrupting and paying attention to them, right? To what people say. We also have to show understanding of the problem. If you listen and if you reason correctly, you are going to have an understanding on the problem, right? Present your point of view of the situation, and very, very important, explain how you feel. Okay, explain how you feel, because this is going to let the other person know that it's not just about themselves, that we are two parts here that feel stressed, that feel angry, that feel sad, that feel affected, or whatever you want to call it, but explain how you feel. Okay. The second one is going to be a negotiation. Okay. And in this negotiation, we are going to brainstorm possible solutions for the conflict, accept the need for necessary compromise, choose a fair solution for both parties, and implement the resolution plan. Okay. Well, we have a great comment here by a teacher. It says they could learn how to manage their feeling with an imaginary problem. Yes. Okay, that is also going to help a lot. Brainstorm possible solutions once again for the conflict, accept the need for necessary compromise. We all have to do something. I mean, when there's a conflict, we have to acknowledge that there are two parts and that both parts need to do something. Maybe one more than the other one, but if we don't accept that both parts need to commit, need to compromise, it's not going to work out. Okay. Once again, choose a fair solution and implement the solution plan. And the consolidation part is going to be evaluate how your resolution plan is carrying out. Okay. Evaluate how your resolution plan is carrying out, see if it's working, see if it needs adjustment once again, because maybe in the negotiation and this fair solution for both parties, it was not the greatest and it needs some adjustments. So evaluate and adjust, I would say, the resolution plan. And of course, communicate your feelings. Communicate your feelings on the results, right? It's, yes, a teacher says here, it's not always easy to resolve the problems. No, it's not always easy, but I also believe that it's more problematic if we let the problems go on and if we don't do anything, because the problems are just going to grow. Okay. Well, with time, teachers can develop genuine collaborative teams in which they share goals, engage in mutually beneficial professional learning, use communal resources to increase student achievement, and advance their own skills, knowledge, and beliefs related to student learning. And I highlighted these words because I believe that through this session we have, and I have talked about this, genuine collaborative teams, okay? Because we have to share goals to result in professional learning. Of course, using common resources to increase what we want, that is student achievement. All of you have said there that you want your students to speak in English, to communicate, to feel comfortable, to feel nice about doing something. Okay, so student achievement is very crucial here. And once again, advance their own skills. Teachers, work on your skills, your own knowledge and beliefs related to student learning. I think it's not impossible. Difficult, of course, because nothing is easy, right? Because as I was saying, we are humans and it depends on both parts. A teacher is saying here, emotional intelligence also we have to develop. And these are things and concepts that we work every day with our students. And once in a session, I was listening to a conflict between in the English Academy, let's say it right in the English Academy, and I thought it's very much like the problems that students have. It's very much like the problems that arise in the classroom. So what I appealed to was to asking teachers how would they deal with it, and somebody said here, if it's think as it was imaginary, how would they solve it if it was a student problem. And they started giving me many ideas. If it was a student problem, I would do this, I would do that. And then we noticed the answers or the yeah the tips or the ideas that could apply to teachers, and we disregarded the ones that wouldn't apply to teachers. And we came up with a very good solution plan for the academy, and it was all with them. And they told me, you helped us. No, I didn't help you, I just, well, facilitated, because remember, now we are more facilitators. I just put all your ideas together because you know a lot. So teachers, do this in your academies, do this with your peers. And well, this is something like we see in every Consejo Técnico, right? Because we are here to change the world as teachers. We are here to change the world with small acts of thoughtfulness done daily rather than with one great breakthrough. I believe that being a teacher is amazing and being a teacher is a great job, but we have to do these small acts of thoughtfulness every day.
Yeah.
We have to take care of our students, of ourselves, of our peers every day.
Yeah.
And this
Hi,
little by
teacher.
little help is going to help us a lot. And I said,
Sorry to interrupt you, teacher
go
Federico.
ahead.
Hi, it's me, Enrique from Prony.
Hello,
I just
Enrique.
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to
Perfect.
be here with all of you today.
We are very happy to have you here. I just wanted to jump in to let you know that in about 5 minutes we will have our Q&A session where I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask you a few questions that our audience has been sending to us. Is that okay for you?
Yes, yes. I'm just about to show you one more slide for an activity that I want teachers to continue with. And yes, we can go in 2 or 3 minutes to the Q&A session.
Perfect. So see you in a few minutes.
Okay, see you in 3.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, teacher. So as I was saying, little by little, day by day, because we know that that's the way it works, right? So just before we go to the Q&A session, I would like you to take out your cell phone. Teachers, take out your cell phone and, well, help me with something. And take out your cell phone, as I'm going to show you here, okay? And open your camera, or if you have a QR code reader, open it, please, because I'm going to show you a QR code that I would like you to read, okay? And this is the code. So now with your cell phone, please read the code, okay? And visit this webpage. Yes, it's a Padlet, Alejandrina says. I get it, okay? Now I'm going to give you a few more seconds to read it, okay? And I'm going back to sharing it, but I'm going to stop sharing this. Thank you, Don. It's a Padlet, yes, already there. Thank you, teachers, thank you. So what I did here is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you. Let me go here, and I'm going to share now my screen, and it's going to be this one. So please let me know, Enrique, if you can see now my screen. Hi, okay, now we have teachers posting. I don't know if I am sharing it. Yes, there it is now.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so once again, this is, many of you may know it, many of you may not, but this is something called a Padlet. And in this Padlet, you can post anything you want. And once again, just to finish with this part of sharing professional growth and all that, I would like you to post something. There's my picture saying hi, but if you want to post a picture of you, of one of your pets, or if you want to post three suggestions you give, or one advice you can give to other teachers on how to do something, what works for you, an idea, a resource, a web page, a website, an application, a tool, whatever you want to share with teachers here, please do it. I'm going to leave it open. And if you want to share, please share here with us. Okay, so I'm ready, Enrique. Sorry. I'm going just to leave open this thing so we see how it's progressing. And well, go ahead with the Q&A part.
Hi, thank you very much, teacher Federico. Honestly, like the comments are going crazy. Like everyone is loving this presentation and finding it very useful and very helpful. So we want to really thank you for being here with us. And I just have like one quick question that I can present to you, and this one was sent to us from Noe Kimsteins. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their last name correctly, but I hope I am.
Okay.
And the question is, how can you improve your teaching when there's no one evaluating you or giving you feedback? Oh, this one's interesting.
Well, it's a tough one, but I believe that as teachers, we know what is right and what is wrong. It's like when you enter to a class and you give a session or a class, and after this class you say, oh my god, that was a great class, I nailed it, right? It was amazing, everybody was participating, and it was great. And that's one thing. I mean, and maybe someone is going to say, híjole, pero you missed this one, or you didn't pay attention to that, for the next session do this or that. And then there are other classes or sessions where you say, oh my god, I don't know what happened. And it's happened to me. I mean, sometimes in my sessions, teachers are really nice and say really nice things, but sometimes they don't say anything, but I feel horrible. I mean, it's like I didn't achieve my goal. So if you if in talking about what this teacher is saying, you first need to know what the goal is, what your goal is. And if your goal is completing your lesson plan, you're going to evaluate success on that. If your goal is student participation, you're going to evaluate your progress on that. Sometimes we would like to have comments or feedback from someone else, but it's sometimes it is not possible. So first, one teacher told me, one of my teachers when I was taking a course told me that the best teacher is the one that reflects. And it's not going to be about killing yourself and saying, oh my god, this class was horrible, and always looking for your mistakes. No, you have to be honest and see what you're doing right and see what you can do better.
Yeah.
But I would say it starts with you. But if you want another opinion and there is nobody else, ask a teacher, ask a peer, uh, conduct a survey with your students, or do something else and involve somebody else just to see how you're doing.
Yeah, thank you very much. You are absolutely right. And now me gustaría invitar a la licenciada Vanessa para que nos acompañe y podamos hacer el cierre de esta participación. Muchas gracias, licenciada Vanessa, y gracias, Federico.
Gracias, gracias.
Gracias, Enrique. Pues muchas gracias, maestro Federico. Agradezco mucho su participación con este tema. Y pues bueno, vamos a finalizar el día de hoy nuestra sesión y no sin antes, Juan Carlos va a comentarles algunos puntos. Gracias de nuevo, Federico. Gracias.
Hola, muy buenas tardes. Un gusto en saludarles nuevamente. Ya podemos ver la liga de registro aquí abajo. El día de ayer tuvimos unas complicaciones con nuestros registros. Se cayó la página en donde se estaban haciendo. Algunos alcanzaron a hacerlo, algunos otros no. Entonces, si no pudieron hacerlo, pueden acudir con sus autoridades locales, sus coordinadoras y coordinadores, y les podrán ayudar. Muchas gracias por todo. Hasta luego.